Jets moved into the top 4 of the North Group in the NatWest T20 Blast after Scott Borthwick and Phil Mustard led them to a comfortable 5-wicket win over Leicestershire. After being put in, the visitors' openers started with a stand of 24 in the first 3.5 overs. That was brought to an end by Paul Coughlin as Mark Cosgrove clipped to Michael Richardson inside the circle, and he held on ever so well. After 2 ankle operations, the returning Mark Wood would have been thrilled to have Mark Bettini edging behind to Mustard with just the 6th ball of his first game back. The Foxes were not really able to get off to a dash, only 38 runs being taken off the 6 overs of power play. South Africans Cameron Delport and Faber-Hardian left to try to push on once the fielding restrictions were lifted. They took the total to 62 for 2 at the halfway stage. And very soon afterwards, Delport was LBW to Borthwick, the squeeze was put on, and that led to Ben Rain holding out to Ben Stokes off a leg-is full toss. Faber-Hardian was then bowled by Borthwick 2 balls later for 29. And Tom Wells picked out Richardson at long on, a wicket which left the Foxes in big trouble on 98 for 6, with just 20 balls of their innings remaining. Borthwick with career best figures of 4 for 18. The fact that the visitors got to 146 for 6 was down to the last 2 overs, both of which went for 19 runs. Lewis Hill picked just the right time to find some form, ruining Chris Rushworth's figures by striking the bowler to all parts for 4 successive boundaries, just what they needed to make this match any kind of contest. Hill then hit the first 6 of the innings to the first ball of Coughlin's last over, and the second followed a couple of deliveries later, this time from Rob Taylor. A good last couple of overs, at least giving the visitors some momentum going into the second half of the game. And they kept that up by removing Mark Stoneman in the first over of the reply, slicing a catch to third man off Clint Mackay after hitting the first ball for 4. That brought in Stokes, a man everyone right now is interested in watching. It looked as if he was going to star once again in front of watching TV audiences as he moved quickly into double figures. But on 11, he miscued a shot to cover and was on his way with his team on 21 for 2 just into the 4th over. There were possibly 1 or 2 groans at that moment, but not for long, as after a very quiet boundary-free period, which saw the home team take only 31 runs from the power play, Mustard exploded into life, hitting successive deliveries well into the distance. Rain was brought on, but the result was nearly the same again as Mustard continued to play his shots, delicate or otherwise, an 8-ball over going for 16 runs as the Jets reached halfway at 74 for 2, 73 more required. Mustard, after a difficult start, was now at his flowing best and he reached his half-century, his 21st in this format of the game. He'd struck 3 4s and 3 6s from the 35 balls he'd faced. Gordon Mutchell's efforts in this win should not be underestimated either. He kept the ball ticking over in making 32 of a 3rd wicket stand of 86. When he was bowled by Neil Dexter, the total read 107 for 3, with 40 runs required from 42 deliveries. And there may have been just a few butterflies as Ryan Pringle followed in the next over, LBW for a duck, and Richardson picked out Wells off Taylor after making 9. That left 22 more runs to find off 22 balls, the Jets now on 125 for 5. But Coughlin eased any nerves that may have been building by lifting the second ball he faced for a big 6. Then Mustard did the same to Rain. Those 2 blows meant that there could now only be 1 winner, with Durham needing just 2 runs, with now 2 overs to get them in. The victory arrived with 9 balls to spare, Coughlin easing his side over the line in spite of that mini wobble. It was a crucial win and very much keeps the Jets' hopes of qualifying for the quarter-finals alive. After winning this match by 5 wickets with 9 balls to spare, the Jets now sit 4th in the North Group with 4 wins and 4 losses from 10, the others falling victim to the weather. Next up, it's Northants under lights at home next Friday.